Lucy, hi, nice to meet you here in Berlin.
Great to meet you too.
Yeah. You are one of the youngest self-made billionaires in the world. How did you get so successful in life?
I think generally in life, the best way to become successful is to optimize for learning. And if you optimize for learning, everything else will come, right? So I optimized for learning, and I would say it was a combination of like luck and timing that got me to be where I am at today. From dropping out of college, that afforded me the Teal Fellowship, right? And during the Teal Fellowship, I met a ton of people that really helped me grow my career and mentored me. And then I was at Quora, and then I felt like I wasn't learning as much at Quora because I was doing a lot of these growth initiatives, which are great, but I wanted to do more product. So then I hopped over to Snap, and that was where I got a lot of learning experiences doing product there. And then I suddenly got the itch to build a company again. And even though I was getting paid a massive amount of money at Snap, I decided that at the end of the day, I would rather optimize for learning and forego the money I was making there to try to learn more at a company that I was building myself. So then that was really where I first founded Scale AI, which was, again, a combination of timing and luck, where it was actually a pivot, and we almost didn't work on the company, but we ended up landing Cruise as one of our first customers and realized there was a huge industry in the self-driving car market, which is where we decided to double down on. And then afterwards, I ended up learning about venture, right? So then I was like, okay, I haven't done venture yet. Let me learn about a bunch of different companies and go breadth versus depth. And I ended up making a early stage investment into Ramp, which I believe recently raised at a $14 billion round. So great returns on that. And then now I'm optimizing for learning again with my current company, Passes.
Focus on the beginning. You started with, I don't know, Pokémon cards, right? Yeah. When you were a little, tell us more about this.
Yeah, so when I was younger, I basically learned the importance of both education and success from my parents. They had immigrated from China and really taught me those concepts. So I wanted to learn how to make money. So very early on in life, I started just selling up Pokémon cards on a student playground to earn money. And then when my parents were taking away my money as punishment, I decided I would need to figure out how to make money without them being able to steal it. I discovered a site called PayPal, and back then you could just sign up with a Visa debit card. So I signed up and then really started learning how to make money on the internet. So I was really into online gaming, Neopets and RuneScape specifically, and I pretty quickly learned how to make these online bots to get the rarest pets, the rarest in-game items, etc., and to sell them on to other people like me who are addicted to the games. So start earning money that way, then start creating internet marketing tools, etc.
Oh, amazing, yeah. Talking about Passes, can you tell us more about this? What do people do there? What is this kind of, what creators do you have there?
Yeah, so Passes is a suite of tools to help creators build businesses. So we believe that all creators are big businesses. So we help them monetize their brand through tools such as merchandise, live streaming, one-on-one calls, subscription, DMs, and more. We have creators like athletes such as Charlie Hall, who makes a lot of money. Just she'll rate, I don't even know golf, but she'll rate you on your golf swing, and she'll charge money on that. We have creators selling merchandise. So we have creators live streaming, really playing games, etc. We have a lot of gamers on the platform. It really is everything.
Yeah. Well, some people compare it with OnlyFans. What do you think? Is it
Yeah, so we're very different. We actually don't compete with them at all. People who so OnlyFans is specifically for adult content, and we don't allow adult content on our platform. So in that sense, if you are a creator that was looking to do that kind of thing, you are going to go on OnlyFans. I think that we attract more business-minded creators that really want to monetize their brand in multiple different ways, because we're not just a subscription platform. Otherwise, there's platforms like Patreon that allow for subscription as well. But because our tool suite is so flexible, from being able to sell merchandise to live streaming to one-on-one calls, etc. People come to us if they're thinking about all the different ways they can monetize versus just one singular play.
So talking about you, you're a very busy woman. How is your everyday life? So what do you do on a, normal day?
I think on a normal day, I'll usually wake up at 5:30 to 6 a.m. and then I'll go work out. I normally do 2 to 3 berries workout classes in a row, and then I just hit the office. And then on a more normal day, I'm interacting with the engineering team, the customer sales and success team, and the product team. I'm very much so in the weeds. I'll look in Figma files emails and review them and, fix the UX, sync on product features, like relook to see if we should reorganize the roadmap based off of priorities. So that's like a more normal day. I would say like usually there have been less and less normal days. Like every single day is new, right? Like today I am talking to you today, and like I wouldn't have predicted that this would happen a few weeks ago.
Talking about money, how important is money for you personally?
I think the way I think about money is that it really offers you the freedom to avoid things that you don't want to do and like focus on things that like you care about. So for me, the first thing I want to do with like the cash is probably buy my parents their dream home. I found some for them and sent it to them, and they're like, we don't like the zip code, but I'm sure that I'm letting them look now and pick it out. I think that like I'm excited to like no, I feel comfortable knowing that like my future kids are going to be supported, right? Where I'll be able to afford them like the best tutors, the best education, etc. So I think in that sense, it's nice that like it buys like comfort and like it buys you the ability to like help support those you care about.
And how much money do you spend, I don't know, on a normal day for you, for clothes, for everything, makeup?
Yeah, I don't own makeup, so I don't spend money on makeup. And when I do these interviews, I don't know if we paid for a makeup artist today. I don't think we paid. I think it was free. And then clothes, it really depends. I like actually don't shop for clothes that often. When I do, it's usually on the cheaper end. Like maybe like from Aritzia, it'll be like $50 to $100 a shirt. $100 to $200 for pants, sometimes cheaper depending on where I'm getting things from. I will say like I've had a lot of brands send me a lot of free stuff, so that's been really nice.
So seeing you as a woman, how do you feel being a woman in this world of tech millionaires like, I don't know, Elon Musk, Zuckerberg? What do you think being a woman, what does this mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that being a woman, it means that like I have a responsibility to help support other women. I think that there is this like subconsciousness that happens. I really don't think the men do it on purpose. I genuinely think it's subconscious, where when, for example, you look at like two founders, like the standards that, like the bar is higher for women to like get an investment. And that's actually why I believe female founded companies do better than male founded companies, because people kind of just subconsciously believe, oh, the male like has a higher chance of succeeding. When so like when you put people to a higher bar, like they're obviously like going to found better companies. But there's this ecosystem, and I'm actually really excited about this ecosystem happening, where you're seeing like more female founders like exit and do well, and then they become LPs, they start their own like venture funds, etc., and like they help support that ecosystem. So we see more female founders, then we see more investors, and the flywheel continues. So, and that's I think that like my responsibility there is like really helping support that ecosystem. My favorite investments are ones that I've invested in like women, so I'm excited about those. Yep. But yeah, it's just like you just continue having to fight your way past that like stigma.
Yeah. So what was the best investment you ever made?
Yeah, one I'm particularly excited about is called Loyal. This one is either going to be like a $1 trillion company or zero, but they've basically figured out how to extend a dog's lifespan by a few years via a shot. And you can imagine like dogs is really just the first step, because you actually can't test anti-aging medicine on humans because aging isn't considered a disease, but you can test it on animals. So if it works for animals, then like maybe the barrier of entry will lower, but also like maybe the same thing will work on menopause, and menopause is actually considered a disease, so you can test for medications there. Yeah.
What advice would you give young women? How can they succeed in life?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, depending on the age, but I would say the mentality you need to have is just accepting that the bar is going to be higher for you subconsciously. So really just don't be bitter about it. Just understand this is how the world works, and then fight your way up top. Because once you have a resume that is so good that the facts are just there, like someone can't subconsciously think you're worse than a man, it actually becomes a lot easier to receive like investment from VCs, etc. And I found this to be like very true after I like finally like had a resume where I was like, okay, I'm at Snapchat, right? And every VC was like, oh my God, she's at Snapchat. Like, and it was considered like the hottest company at the time. So at that point, my resume from like winning a bunch of hackathons to like working at Snapchat to being studying computer science at the best computer science school in the country, like they couldn't, you know, subconsciously think, oh, okay, like this person's worse than a male counterpart. And then I would say like it was probably easier for me to receive investment than if I were a man, because like everyone wants to support women. Everyone's just like, oh, okay, cool. Like we don't want to support the wrong woman. But subconsciously they just put you at a higher bar.
Talking about AI, what do you think? Some people have concerns about AI.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, AI is going to be our co-pilot. I believe a lot of people are worried about AI replacing us, but AI is really good at like repeatable, mundane tasks, right? So there's like 80% of the work that I would say doesn't really use like human-powered creativity, authenticity, empathy, relationship building, etc. that like people don't even want to do. So AI is going to help us do that, so people can focus their like last 20% of their brain on the hardest problems, which allows them to spend the most time working on the most important problems, the solutions they need. I would say, like, for example, in the creator economy, a lot of people are worried about AI replacing them, especially with like managers and agents, because if you think about it, like their main job, which is finding brand deals and negotiating for creators, is actually it's something that AI will be very good at. But at the end of the day, like they're going to have to like push things through the finish line, and they're going to have to do the relationship building, and they're going to have to think of like interesting new deal structures in the future that the AI might not be trained on. And AI lacks logic and memory, at least at the moment. So it's not going to like really be able to understand like, oh, these are your goals and like here's how I execute them.
Well, most of the tech companies come from America, from the US. What would you advise to the Germans? How can the Germans be more successful in this business?
I think the key to being successful in this business is really to just adopt it and be willing to adopt it. I think that the US actually, there's such a mentality of like AI is going to replace us that people aren't willing to adopt it to help improve their own jobs, because they're worried, like we have like, you know, there's constantly protests, etc. But at the end of the day, like when you actually accept it for what it is like AI is my co-pilot, it's not going to replace me. Like the people that accept it first are going to be able to like scale their time like never before. Like the amount of time it would have taken them, like something that could have taken a month to do will take a day for them to do, right? And it's really just like accept it and then embrace it and add AI education into the mix. And that way the country's like best positioned to utilize AI better than anyone else.
Looking at you, you live in Hollywood, right?
I live in West Hollywood, yeah.
Tell us more about how you live there. How is it, your life there?
Yeah, I mean, I like it a lot. I specifically chose my house to be like 5 minutes away from Barry's boot camp, which is my favorite workout, and then 5 minutes from the office. Before, my mode of transport was actually electric skateboard, so I wanted something that I could like easily skateboard to within 5 minutes. So that was really how I chose the area. But also, it's kind of the central for like where creators live as well. So we wanted to be in that center so we could have creators come in and out of our office just to, you know, get to know them more and also to work with them closer. For example, we have a photo studio, we have a podcast studio, we're building a music studio, etc. So it's really like this creative production studio that anyone can come in and produce content on, because really like the correlation between how you grow your following and how much money you make is just the amount of content that you're able to churn out.
There are also lots of actors in Hollywood. Whom do you know? To whom are you hanging out with them? How is it?
Honestly, my friend group is like very eclectic. If I had to choose like one niche that most of my friends are in, it would actually be in music. So I'm friends with a lot of singers, friends with a lot of DJs, etc. I do have friends in the like music production and like acting space, but really my friend group is eclectic. Like, you know, there's music, there's real estate, there's acting, etc.
Taylor Swift was former known as the youngest billionaire. Now you are. So what do you think? You topped her.
I mean, I think Taylor Swift is just the coolest human alive. I will never fangirl over anyone, and I've never fangirled over anyone except Taylor Swift. I shook her hand at Coachella last year, and I think I fainted.
Could you imagine living I don't know, a normal life, like being a housewife, raising children, staying at home?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I definitely want children. I can't really imagine myself living a normal life, but that wouldn't be because of like money, right? I've always been very spontaneous growing up. Like my vision since I was younger was when I have kids, I want to like travel around the world with them, for example. So I guess I kind of had a goal always where I was like, I need to make enough money that I can have like a person, like a teacher traveling with me. So my kids are still getting a good education while I'm like off in a different country. I think me, myself, is not very normal. And I think I always wanted to be working. I tried going on a sabbatical and I traveled the world for a little bit and I just missed working. So there's like, I don't think my life will ever be normal per se.
But you have so many fans. How can one conquer your heart?
How can one conquer my heart? I mean, I think just like be a good person. I think that like things I'm attracted to are like you're nice to everyone. Like you're not just nice to the friend group, right? You're just genuinely a kind person, right? Like you're nice to like the service people as well. I think that being extremely ambitious and passionate about like something is important to me. Whether it could be like really anything, right? Like you can be passionate about physics, you can be passionate about a sport, etc. But wanting to really spend your time and like having that love for something is very attractive to me.
You do a lot of sports and you have amazing hobbies. Like, tell us more about this.
So I love adrenaline. I have my skydiving license, my scuba diving license, my motorcycle license. The next licenses I want to get are paragliding or my pilot's license. I'm very addicted to working out. I think it brings adrenaline to my body every morning, you know? And you're always just competing with yourself. So I do Barry's boot camp. I ride electric longboards. That's actually very adrenaline pumping because it's so dangerous. And like when you're going like 25, 30 miles per hour on a longboard, you should wear a helmet. Sometimes I don't wear a helmet. It's like your blood is flowing through your veins.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah. What are your goals for the next, I don't know, years? What do you want to reach in life?
Yeah, well, I mean, I definitely want to build my next unicorn company, so I'm super excited about passes. We're definitely on a good trajectory, which is great. And then in terms of like life passion, I eventually want to get into nonprofits, whether that's, you know, like building my own foundation or whether that's supporting a foundation I really care about and being on the board. But I think like having impact out, like for a greater cause is very important. Yeah.
We are living in a world which is, I don't know, in these days, dangerous, different. What do you think when you read the newspapers every day?
I mean, I just honestly wish for peace and prosperity. I like think about it. I'm like, man, like the world would just be so much better if everyone were kind to each other and like understanding and more empathetic.